Good evening, everybody. So, I'm going to talk about something that's a little bit out there, and a lot of you are probably going to be like, what in the Sam hell is this? Okay, so let's wade through the water on this one. Energy, right? We all know through Sir Isaac Newton that the law of energy is nothing can ever be destroyed, it can only be altered, right? So, we have a lot of discrepantal thinking and a whole lot of things that energy and magic don't exist, right? So let me give you a little bit of an example to help you kind of understand. So first off, energy. It can be electronic, it could be whatever, but everything has an energetic pulse, right? Electronic pulse, whatever. Nothing can move without energy to push it, right? So we are energy, right? Everything in us is energy. We burn energy, we make energy, we exert energy, right? So then there's also this thing of magic, if if you will. Right now, I'm not talking about waving a magic wand, that kind of thing. I'm not talking about like uh, Lord of the Rings or anything of that nature. Okay, like this is a little bit of a different aspect of magic, right? So, um, making things happen, right? So, getting your life together, getting a degree, and getting your dream job, and your life takes off, and you make good money, and you do your thing. That's magic. You made that all come to life. Now, I'm going to kind of get into the deeper, weirder part of it. So, we are in a world, whether we want to believe it or not, where a lot of our leaders, or a lot of the people that are up there, or a lot of the world itself is built off the occult, right? When you think of control, when you think of the dynamic of control, when you think of illusions, when you think of secrets, when you think of all of that realm of things, you'll see that it is all over the very realm of how this world was made. Just think about like the ancient pyramids. How in the hell do you think that those came to be, right? Like we're talking either that took millions of people or there was some magic, if you will, at play. Um, all these ancient ruins that are still in existence today, right? Millions of years old. There's some reason why that stuff is still here and it hasn't fallen over or whatever. So I guess what I'm saying is there is so much more than what meets the eye. And unless you are one of those folks that does not have an open mind and you're only willing to think on one aspect of things, you will lose the true essence of knowledge, right? And so a lot of the folks out here are waking up and they're realizing that there's a lot more to what meets the eye than just what meets the eye, right? Miracles happen every day. People walk away from cancer diagnoses and all this other stuff, right? That's magic, is it not? Someone being healed of cancer That would be considered a miracle. A mom having 4 kids and still finding time to do the other miscellaneous things. That's a miracle. Someone saying no to drugs. It's a miracle. Right? So there's a lot more than what meets the eye. And there's a lot of folks out here that are merely walking off illusions. Or they're merely walking off only having a one-track mind versus being able to get a golf ball moment and understand that there is a lot more out here than what meets the eye. And they will touch it. They just won't realize it. Right? Think of the air that you breathe as being potentially magic. Because the air makes everything work. Without air, we don't breathe. So wouldn't that be considered magic? There's this thing of evolution. There's this thing of there's all these different attributes of all this other stuff. I'm not just talking about religion. I'm not just talking about politics. I'm not just talking about love and relationships. I'm not just talking about, right, any one thing. I'm talking about the whole dynamic out here in the very world that we all live in. If you look and if you pay attention, you will see just how much. And I'm not talking about like the stuff that we're all hearing about what's going on in the world today, right? All the craziness and the wars and the all that. Because there's a lot going on right now. But don't we all? But wouldn't that what we're seeing today going on in the world? Wouldn't that be considered something that might be happening because of some kind of godly intervention, something like that, or some, right? Like there's some kind of intervention at play. This one's a little bit out there. I understand that. But I just thought I'd share a different perspective with everybody and give everybody a different idea to look at when it comes to, well, are you open minded or are you not? And it won't take you long to realize if you are or not, because if this one gives you a moment, something to think about. But I hope you're all well. Love you all. Until next time.